Hey you find Mum and Pops? No. No, I don't believe you. It isn't true. Get away.
Hi, it's 975 and welcome to Nipsy Does Honor Mode episode 37. And after giving the unfortunate news to Arabella, it was time to kick off a sequence of events that leads to one of the more interesting fights in Act 2, which is defending a portal while Helsing goes in to rescue the soul of the boy that we played hide and seek with earlier. Now, before entering this battle, I did do some preparation. I brought in a couple of minor elementals. They're really good for dealing with lots of little mobs because they do this overheat thing which does 5 hit points burning in a radius around them. And normally I would shroud the portal in darkness to stop ranged stuff attacking it, and then use Shadowheart as the spirit guardian last line of defense, and then just try and hold the line. But this time I decided to go all out and attack. Go absolutely nuts, hambony, have some fun and see what I could do. I'll be honest, it was a chance to use lots of potions, cut loose and do some silly stuff. Throw some bombs around, stuff that I don't normally do because I tend to play quite reserved, but this is one of those times where like you just get waves of mobs attacking. The portal is very weak, and if I'm not careful it can be destroyed really quickly by ranged attacks. That's the main danger, but all in all the melee stuff I'm not too worried about because Spirit Guardian Shadowheart is the last line of defense. Things are going to run through that damage before they get there, so that's a really good tip. The other tip that I would say is put the portal in darkness so the ranged stuff can't shoot at it, or anything that blocks line of sight between the ranged stuff and the portal. It is a really good strategy. However, I didn't bother doing that in this time round. I probably should have done, but you know, I didn't. I went for the good old control of spike growth. I do like spike growth. It funnels the enemy, meaning you can direct them to where you want them to be. And I don't know how I aimed at that one and then hit that one, but it is what it is. The little Azure guys are great. They've got really good armor. They're just generally really useful and tough. And one tip, if you're going to use those sort of things, bring them in and then cast aid. Now unfortunately I messed up with my Spirit Guardians and I put the wrong type of Spirit Guardians on, which is kind of a waste of a spell. Well, it isn't kind of, it is totally a waste of a spell, because unfortunately Necrotic does nothing to the necrotic-y stuff. So but it didn't matter because Lizelle was there to absolutely mollywop the shadows, and it's with the fighter, just action surge straight away. You know, do as much damage as you can, turn the tide, take away as many actions from your enemy as you can, because D&D is always about action economy. It's always about, you know, making use of your actions. And yeah, and with Lizelle being a polearm master sentinel, get her in a position where she can polearm master stuff as it comes through. The little Azure guys are great. They're tough little guys with good armor class. Like I say, they have this heat thing which they can burst around them, so they can rush in and then do heat burst, which is great. As you can see, the number of enemies is ramping up. This is looking like being a fun fight already. And yeah, and Karlak and the girls are going to town absolutely slamming stuff. It took me a while to sort this out, but yeah, just want to throw and it's messing me around, but yeah, managed to get it sorted in the end. It's sometimes the system's just a little bit awkward. Half-light bomb, no, I want holy water, because yes, burn baby burn. Yeah, I'm not doing amazingly well. I should have focused more on the range stuff, and yeah, I'm messing around too much with stuff. I really gotta take care of those range guys, and the Azure is great for these things because, like I say, heat up, and then you can smite stuff as well. Takes care of the ravens, the little heat up thing, and then I've got magic missile to come in, clear up ravens. I did decide this was time for the potion of speed, because then I can activate Shriek, get in position, so I'm doing thunder and force damage with my magic missiles, and yeah, makes a big difference on the reverberations as well, and correct my mistake with the Spirit Guardians. Much better. Get the right type of Spirit Guardians out there, and yeah, with her as the last line of defense, I'm very confident nothing melee based will get to the portal. My only concern is making sure that I do damage the archers or kill the archers, because look how much damage they do. They're a real pain in the butt. That portal just can't take that much damage. However, my team of characters are built for this sort of mass killing of mobs, dishing out absolute ton of attacks, and those two elemental guys, they will do their bit. You'll see as this goes on. The little heat waves just takes out the ravens in a minute, and it's very, very useful. They're very good. A lot of Lazelle's extra damage is nerfed because it's she does quite a lot of poison damage, and obviously undead stuff just ignores that. But that's part of this act being what it is. She is useful in other moments, and I do like the fact that Spike Growth is still doing bits of damage here and there, and between Spike Growth and Lazelle's attacks, things are just getting absolutely funneled and torn apart before they get through, and then they're running into Shriek and they're debuffed, and you know, there's a lot going on in this fight, and it's fun. And when you got Lazelle doing damage, it's kind of hilarious. But yeah, there's some reasonably tough monsters in this bit, but between Karlach's absolutely bucket loads of attacks and Lazelle's absolute bucket load of attacks, not a lot's going to get through. And as you can see, that's the heat thing I just love. It's great. They've also got Smite. They're just useful little elementals. The methods you can summon are still useful, but I definitely like the little Azure little dudes. They're awesome. And yeah, I do like boning up on my magic missiles, so they do magic missiles, force damage and thunder damage, thanks to the Shriek ability. And then there's a spell later on I'm going to take where I will be adding an extra d4 radiant damage in there, just to be really annoying. And yeah, I probably should have smited there, but you know, look for a position to overheat him. Nope, don't burn anyone else, so good, we can do that. I gotta say, while this is not the most sensible method of doing this encounter, it is certainly a fun method, because yeah, it's just absolutely hilarious, really enjoyable way of going about it, and yeah, the only thing similar to my normal way of doing it was the last line of defense, but I should have focused more on the archers, but Lazelle isn't the greatest archer out there, which is unfortunate. But and also when she's got a bow out, she loses some of her decent abilities. But there you go. That's what I should have watched out for, because that tower's half dead thanks to that archer getting a shot in. But as you can see, most of the rest of the stuff's melee, so it's not a problem. Just need to take out the final archers and smash it. Well, just smash stuff really. A lot of it gets smashed as it's running past me here, but now we've got a nice, I mean, look at the amount of stuff that has spawned in. It is a proper decent fun fight, this one. part of me does wish there was more big fights like this in the game. There are a fair few, but you know, I really like it when you get like masses of stuff. It's one of the fun things about D&D. D&D is such a combat-orientated roleplay game. I think the way it works in combat is kind of where it's at some of its best. Also, interestingly, it's, well, I'm not going to say it at its worst, but it has certain like advantages when you're playing on the computer like this, because you're controlling everyone. You're not waiting for someone else to have their turn, which is one of the joys of summoned creatures. In a solo game, it's fine bringing in a large amount of summoned creatures, whereas if you play the tabletop version, if you have a lot of summon stuff, you really do have to feel sorry for your friends as they're waiting. And this is the best Thunderwave I've ever cast. Absolutely epic. Highly enjoyable Thunderwave. And yeah, just a perfect opportunity for just a real fun spell. It's one of my absolute staples. Yeah, ultimately this is turning into a bit of a one-sided massacre, as poor guys are getting absolutely brutalised by my team, and we're holding the line pretty well. A lot of stuff's on fire. Shadow Heart's not really been called upon as that last line of defence too often, and yeah, this was the joy of, I haven't really used many of the special arrows, so I might as well celebrate by splurging a load, and yeah, just absolute hilarious amounts of damage. And I gotta say, this whole bit was so much fun to do. Normally, like I say, look at the portal, it's half dead. It doesn't take a lot to destroy. If you're not careful with the archers, you can get absolutely boned, so I would recommend shrouding it in darkness, and not doing what I'm doing, which is just going on the offensive, because like you see, they're just trying to dash and run past me to get to the portal. That's all they're programmed to do, is get to the portal, not actually engage and fight you. But it's hilarious how much I'm just brutalising these poor monsters. The mobs are coming in, but like, as you can see, the amount of damage that's being done to them, you'll see in a moment. They go from, I don't know, quite a few of them to not very many left at all. I honestly think this last bit encapsulates the fight so well, as Shadow Heart will sweep in, just do a little Spirit Guardian damage, and then the Zell will mop up with the absolute ton of attacks that she does, and the little Azors will do their little bit of putting out some extra heat damage and hitting a few things with some nice hits as well. But yeah, I went from like 7 to 1 thing left after this turn, and that one thing left was on fire. So all in all, just ludicrous amounts, and yeah, if they're actually living things, the Zell would be even more effective. But yeah, just absolute carnage. Anyway, that's all. Just embodied the last bit with Helsing.
It's done. I have him. But something's wrong. Dreadfully wrong. No. It can't be. Yes. I'll bring him back to camp. He'll be safest with us. I need to examine him. I need to understand what's wrong. It's almost like something's missing from him. Come see us when you can.